Skinwalker sighting from the southwest. I've always been a skeptic. Ghosts, aliens, monsters, they were all just stories to me. But after what I experienced in the southwest, my perspective on the unknown has been changed and forever altered. I was on a road trip with my best friend Jake. We had decided to take a detour through the Navajo Reservation in Arizona, mainly because of the scenic beauty and the rich history of the area. We had heard tales of skinwalkers, but we laughed them off. They were just myths, right? Our first day on the reservation was uneventful. We visited a few local spots, interacted with some of the locals, and set up camp near the canyon. As night fell, we sat around our campfire, sharing stories and enjoying the serenity of the desert. Around midnight, Jake decided to turn in, but I stayed up, mesmerized by the stars. The Milky Way stretched across the sky, and I felt a profound sense of peace. That is, until I heard it. What I can only describe as a low, guttural growl echoed through the canyon. I froze, thinking it might be a coyote or a mountain lion, but then I heard a voice. It was distorted, as if someone was speaking through a broken radio, but it was unmistakably Jake's voice. "Come here," it beckoned. Confused, I turned to our tent. Jake was sound asleep. The voice called out again, this time from the opposite direction. I grabbed a flashlight and shone it towards the source. What I saw will forever haunt me. Standing on the ridge was a figure. It looked like a man, but its limbs were elongated and its eyes glowed a sickly yellow. It wore tattered clothing and its skin was a mottled gray, but the most disturbing part was its face. This thing had what resembled Jake's face. And I say resembled because it looked like a cheap Halloween store knockoff mask, like it was struggling to get the features right. I stumbled back, my heart racing. The creature mimicked Jake's voice again. "Come here." It took a step towards me, its movements jerky and unnatural. I bolted to the tent, shaking Jake awake. "We need to go now," I hissed. He looked at me, confused, but the urgency in my voice spurred him into action. We packed up as quickly as we could, the creature's voice echoing all around us, mimicking our voices, our laughter, our conversations from earlier that day. As we sped away in our car, I glanced into the rearview mirror. The creature stood in the middle of the road, watching us, its eyes yellow, glowing in the dark. We didn't stop driving until we reached the nearest town. We checked into a motel, and I spent the night researching skinwalkers. The legends say that they were witches who could take the form of animals or people, using their voices to lure victims in. I don't know what we encountered that night, but I do know one thing. The stories are real. The Southwest is beautiful, but it holds secrets that are beyond comprehension. And I'll never set foot on a Navajo reservation again. To all of you reading this, please, be careful when you venture into the unknown territories. Some legends are rooted in truth, and some nightmares are very, very real.